Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey. Fuck wrong with you, boy? You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my nigga. Hey, yeah. I'm in yo. Got my nigga Rewan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, yeah. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talk the shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves. Shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
All right, Shalom Israel. Welcome to another I.S.U.P.K Sunday Scripture Breakdown class. My name is Priest and Officer 500 Kayadwan out of I.S.U.P.K Jamaica under commanding General YAHANNA. I say Yahweh Basham Yawashai Baraka Thumb to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Isla Thun Basham Yawashai to my sisters. You know what I mean? For those who don't know about the I.S.U.P.K, I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. You understand? This is where, you know what I mean, or this is when the truth was found. The truth came into the earth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the real 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. God's chosen people written off in your Bible. You understand? We are those people. These are the people who were enslaved. You know what I mean? These are God's people, and you are going to be, you know what I mean, you're going to face a judgment if you oppress these people. You understand? And here in Jamaica, we can definitely see that God's chosen people are being oppressed. And not just in Jamaica, you see it in Guyana, you understand? You see it in Trinidad, you see it everywhere where we live. We are the oppressed on the earth, you understand? We are the poor, we are the meek, you understand? So, but there's a penalty, just like Egypt. What happened to Egypt when Egypt was oppressing God's people, which was us, you know what I mean? Which was us. They were oppressing us. What happened the last time a nation oppressed God's people? What happened to that nation? Was that nation allowed to continue and become stronger and stronger? Because back then Egypt was a world power, you know. You understand? Egypt was the world power at that time, the greatest nation on the face of the earth. You know what I mean? Because it was built off our backs. Just like how Babylon today, which is America and the West, you understand, was built off our backs. We made these places great, but we don't get no respect for it. You understand? We don't get no equal part in this kingdom. In Jamaica, we came here as slaves. You understand? Our Taino and Arawak brothers were enslaved to, you know what I mean, to extinction. You understand? So we came here as slaves to work the land, cut sugar cane, you know what I mean, plant and cut sugar cane. And when them so-called emancipated us, 1834 independence, so-called independence, see, where we get? We don't get nothing, we don't get no part and parcel in Jamaica. We don't get nothing. We were just freed. You know what I mean? Freed with nothing. A free slave is a poor man. You understand? A free slave is a poor man. So what am I forgot to do now? Being set back and at a disadvantage, what am I forgot to do now? He must forgot try work to see if he can acquire land. Remember, you know, them don't give we no land. We don't get no land, boy. Yeah. You understand? Them not give we no land. We had to work back in the same plantations for minuscule wages. I remember, you know, that at that time them start import indentured servants that they used to pay. See? So now we had to compete on the same land that we were enslaved on, that we work to make rich. You understand? We work to make Jamaica rich, you know what I mean? Thus making Britain rich. You understand? And what happened? We were just released. So by us just being released, we became what? Squatters. The same squatters that them call with today. So we were always squatters. We left from slaves to squatters. You understand? We work, and some of us work to try purchase land. You understand? Meanwhile, you have the white man who ruled Jamaica back then and ruled Jamaica still, talking about the crown, who owned the majority of the land at that time. Yeah, now, forward today, you have private entities, you know what I mean? Big companies that own a lot of the land. We being set back at a disadvantage, being poor, can't tend to acquire land. We can't afford land. So, remember, so we start off as squatters, you know. So many of us remain squatters. Because really and truly, Jamaica does not give us any part and parcel for us to really make a living and survive. So majority of us remain poor. So if you have a generation of poverty going down the line, what happen? You got always have people, you know what I mean, have to just squat on land, or so-called squat. That's how them call it. Which that shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't be able, or we shouldn't be called squatters on the land that we work upon you know what I mean, for 400 years almost. To make another people rich. We should have been given this land. If you ask me, we work to earn the land already. So you tell me, say no, because we can't afford land, you go tell me, say, it's okay if you just come and bulldoze our house, or we build upon some land, make us homeless, set us back, you know what I mean, decades because we can't afford land. And people make it seem like, you know what I mean, purchasing land is simple. Like it's easy. When you want somewhere to live today, Zane, you're desperate. So if you see a piece of land that nobody now look on that piece of land, you know, for years, you know, see nobody watch that piece of land, you know. Zane, as soon as you build upon the land now is a problem. As soon as you know what I mean, you do your thing upon the land is a problem. Remember, you know, a man just don't throw up a house in 2 days. A man have to work hard, daily, weekly, monthly. Sometimes it take, you know what I mean, a man years to build up a structure where he can live in it. So don't make it seem like purchasing land is easy when even building the house is a process. So you would have to work in this economy, you understand, or whichever economy you can, whichever era here in Jamaica you want, you know what I mean? You want to identify, it always been hard. Zin, you have to work hard to save to buy the land. You know what I mean? That's the first step. All you have is land. You don't have nowhere to put, you know what I mean, your kids them, you know what I mean, roof over your kids them, idiot. See, me just show you the logics, you know, and all the pressure they put on poor people in Jamaica, you know. See? So you work and save up towards the land. You still not have a roof over your head. You know what you have to do? You have to go work twice as hard now. If you can build upon the land. How long that I go take? Let's be realistic. How long that I go take? You talk about 10 to 15 years. If you talk about the average poor man in Jamaica, don't make it seem like we here in Jamaica, we are prosper and, you know what I mean, there is opportunities out there. If you ever tell me about housing trust, you have to be realistic. You know what I mean? Because, all right, a two bedroom, today, let me talk about today. See, a 2-bedroom house from housing trust, how much that costs? Let's be realistic, you know. You know what I mean? How much it costs? Yeah, it's a $15 million house that. Somebody tell me in the chat. It's a $15 million house. Me just go with a ballpark figure. Around there, I cannot 20. See? No, you have to go find 10% of that figure to housing trust. You understand? Which are probably $1.5, $2 million. How many times you have tried to get the housing trust, whatever, and you have failed? Because they make it seem like, say, you know what I mean, the opportunity is clear-cut, you know. And how much people have an income that can make them find that 10% for pay housing trust, so that they can get one of them $15 million or $20 million house to put roof over them family. How long it will take them to save the money there? You know that $1.5 million they can do? That $1.5 million they can chew up a structure within 2 or 3 years. And you don't even have to wait till you have the entire 1.5 million. Because as you work it, then you can take time a build. So by 2 to 3 years, you have a structure. Now picture this. Saving that money in 2 to 3 or 4 years, however long it take. Yeah, if you have kids, you know, maybe it's impossible. Depends on how much children you have. Maybe it's impossible because the money have to go back to, you know what I mean, feeding your family. You understand? Maybe it's impossible. Maybe it take you 7 years. Many people never even get to that. You understand? So, say it take you 2, 3, 4 years. No, you just have the money to pay the 10%. You have to build up housing trust points. Some people have to come together with other people just to get a loan from housing trust and still not get it, bridging. You have people who are teacher we can't get housing trust. So now make it look like, say, you know what I mean, a easy 1, 2, 3. How them make it look like, say, all right, people there here upon squatter land, there is no excuse to the upon squatter land because there are avenues. Like what the Prime Minister said, we want people to own houses, but we want them to, you know what I mean, own it the right way. Bridging, you're so detached from reality. You understand? You're so detached from reality, you don't know what's going on in Jamaica. Do you know that your citizens are poor, suffering, and to mouth? And sometimes I wonder if we surviving surprise them so much that them say, yeah man, them will survive. This is what I'm here upon a slavery one time. And I'm going to say the slavery, see? This slavery was, the CEO was a white man. And I remember the work of them always a work overtime because you don't know overtime tend to give a little more money and, you know what I mean, a little more leeway. See? He never want to pay the work of them overtime. And his remark was, poor people can survive. Poor people will survive. You understand? Hey, SHALAM, YAHANNA, what go on?
SHALAM, YAHANNA.
What you deal with? What go on over Britain there?
Everything's co-op, sir. The place is burning down. Europe's burning. The end days are close. The night they're drawing near, sir. Everything's wonderful over here, sir.
What you say? All according to the script, it go on good.
God one can, sir. God one can.
Most on Christ, man. So I don't know if you know about what go on here in Jamaica today. So you know what I mean? What took place was some demolition in Cooper's Pen, Chilani. I don't know if you have people back that side. Where your people them come from?
Manchester.
Manchester, and right next door. See?
God one can.
So right up there, so now you have them want it for tourist development. You know what I mean?
God
so them
want
the land, but the people them they on the land for decades. You understand? That land has been in dispute for decades. Where we understand about the land as well is that the government acquired the land unlawfully. You understand? But now, them sell the land and some private entity bulldoze over 20 odd houses, making over 20 odd family of people homeless. You understand? So I hit we had touch on today. So, you know what I mean? What I'm going to do now still, I'm going to jump to some tapes so we can get you up to par with what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been following little bits of it, sir. I seen one family, Salaki, if I may, sir. I saw one family that was out at work, had no warning, had no notification, no notice served on them, came home and their house had been demolished completely in Trelawney, sir.
Okay. I mean, sir, that are going on right now. And many people upset because of it, because, I mean, watch this. The government, they must say them don't know what took place. They are not aware, which is strange to me, because if you are the government of Jamaica and you were unaware that, you know what I mean, your citizens were going to be made homeless, then what is your use? What purpose are you then if you're not aware of what take place in your country, especially when it comes to some big company, hotel chain, you know what I mean, carrying out some demolition, you know what I mean? Now, that's what them say now. I personally believe the government was aware now. We're going to play some tape to show you that the way this operation took place is consistent with how the government would normally do it. See? But if you are telling us that you were unaware, see, it means that you don't know what's going on in your country. You understand? And if you was aware and you allow it to happen, say whenever you do it, it means you are not protecting your own citizen, because How can you allow, you know what I mean, a family, 20 families to go homeless here in Jamaica just so, without you, the government, standing between, you know what I mean, that court order and defending your people where you claim say you love. You know what I mean? Why is it every time that a demolition take place, the government always after try to find some solution, as opposed to before the demolition, giving the people them an alternative? One to them housing trust houses there. Why you don't go to the people them and say, all right, here we go on. You know, say them houses are going to get demolished soon, so here we go on. We're going to go into some housing trust houses. But, you know what I mean, just say, but you know it now going to come free. Right? So here we have to do, we have to go pay the lease on those houses. We have to go, you know what I mean? We have to go pay whatever we need to pay on those houses, but you can't stay here. Why is it every time this thing happens is after the people, them, you know what I mean, house get demolished and them a ball and Pitney left homeless, is now you come and I say, well, I'm so sorry, Ray. It's because you don't care about the people and a part of your plan. I saw to deal with poor people. You understand? I saw to deal with poor people. Now have no love and no compassion for poor people. That is the problem. You know what I mean? I will know where that I come from. That I come from you, not you don't really represent the people. You don't represent us, you represent our oppressor. And we have been oppressed for over 400 years here in Jamaica.
That's right.
You are just a continuation of our oppression with a smile and with lying words. You know what I mean? And that's why we tell our people, Bridging Tappy, voting. We want to vote for. We want to vote set. What voting has ever done for you more than make you bawl and suffer? Voting has never helped you. You have voted for 50, how much years? 70 years now we have voted. 60 odd years now we have voted. Zane? And what, you know what I mean, is the same old story. Poor people have been oppressed, the descendants of the slaves still being oppressed, meanwhile everybody else are, you know what I mean, gain wealth. We have become poorer and now more homeless. That make no sense where you vote for. You vote in one party, then come, you know what I mean, the worse than the previous party before. You get upset, you get frustrated, then you vote them out for the next party where you vote out a couple of years ago. Brethren, them say insanity is when you try to do the same thing over and over, expecting to get a different result, brethren. That is insanity. Somebody say voting helps. Tell me how voting helps. You know what I mean? Somebody, I'm not take that person serious based off of them name. But anyway, we're going to play that tape here. You know what I mean? Officer Araya Allah, feel free for jump in. You know what I mean? When
that one can, sir, to order, sir.
See, yeah, man.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
Special welcome to folks on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com.
First up this evening, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has described the demolition of homes in Cooper's Pen in Trelawney as a disaster.
Dr. Holness, who spoke for the first time on the issue today, said he will not say too much until he understands the situation fully.
But he says the government is carefully assessing Tuesday's mass demolition to see how it can support the residents.
Details in this report.
Since Tuesday, there has been widespread outrage following a mass demolition of homes in Cooper Spring, Trelawney. Disturbing images started to flood the media as dozens of families appealed for help at the highest level. On Friday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness responded.
The images that we have seen are disturbing. My heart goes out to the families who have been dislocated. I see a particular image of a newborn and the mother being displaced. These are the tragedies. And it is one thing that history does is to repeat itself.
Right.
And I am committed to ensure that our history is not repeated.
Which is why he said the government cannot endorse squatting and the illegal occupation of land.
I do intend to address the specific matter when I have the full details of the matter. The matter is quite complex and it involves court rulings for which I need to be properly advised on those court rulings before I speak.
Right.
I do intend to, however, address the matter. As soon as the matter occurred, and it was brought to my attention. I had no prior knowledge of it. None of our ministers, certainly not the member of parliament. I got a call very early in the morning, quite surprised. And immediately we mobilized resources from I.S.U.P.K and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to assist, because technically it was a disaster.
He said whatever the government does, it has to ensure that it is made clear that squatting is wrong, but also find the balance which shows every Jamaican should have equal access to land and housing.
We will have to find ways to support those families who are impacted. But whatever our response is, we have to be careful that we don't set a precedence that is not sustainable.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
So something like this, something of this magnitude at my right under your nose, right? And you are unaware of it. Is that what you are telling me? You are telling me, you know what I mean? Something of this magnitude took place, right? And you were unaware of it. And your conclusion where you draw is, you know what I mean? So that this don't happen, you know what I mean, again, so that history don't repeat itself, right? You have to go deal with squatting. So the problem is the squatters. Basically, I say, the problem is poor people. You know what I mean? Because poor people, you know what I mean, don't have nowhere to live. You know what I mean? Them is a problem. As opposed to you trying to do something that poor people can get somewhere to live. So the problem we have to go deal with now is poor people, not the people who push down them house. Because you say you never aware, right? You understand? You never have nothing to do with it. Even though we're going to show you, say, this mobilization that took place, it is hard for me to believe that the government wasn't a part of it. You understand? Because the mobilization started from 3 a.m. in the morning, where police come and arrest, you know what I mean, brothers. You know what I mean? All the men in the community. And then in the day now, while those brothers was in lockup, then them come destroy the houses. We're going to play this tape. You know what I mean?
Now, several of these young men, they were arrested this morning, and based on what they are saying, they were arrested for no reason at all, no lawful reason. Now look at Rasta. What just happened this morning? The police come and lock you up at time? 3 o'clock this morning. And when they come and lock you up at 3 o'clock, what did they do?
We go down at the station.
The station.
After we start making nice run at the station, they say them a process. When Canada with them come pick up this morning. When Canada will live in all of them. All of them want them all live in that.
So meanwhile, you are at the police station.
Here a woman say, you know, you go up on the news and go past there. So go on. That's how we hear go on.
They go the police take you up and lock you up. You know, you say, oh, Lord, I don't know much about it.
Yeah, the station return all here.
A man on a lose too much money, man on a lose.
Rich, poor,
meanwhile, people are damaging the place.
You hear that? So the man them get locked up, and then while them in custody, people come and I destroy them house. Tractors, you know what I mean? Scores of police, a police operation took place, you know. People could have left out of the community, you know what I mean? Because the police, you know what I mean, was giving watch and security to the bulldozers and the people them who, you know what I mean, was demolishing the house and looting the people them thing too. You know what I mean? So how is the government not aware of that? How is the government not aware of what them police force are doing? That is a question, you know. How the government don't know what the police force is doing? Is the police force independent of the government? And how a court order went out that, you know what I mean, a demolition of this size is going to take place and nobody no inform the government? Nobody no inform the government that, look, we are about to make some people homeless. See? So, you know what I mean? You must know. So you have entities in Jamaica operate independent of the government. Basically, that do not tell me, you know. Basically, that is what you're saying. It really means you're not in charge. Somebody else in charge, or you're just full of crap.
Right.
You're just full of crap. You know what I mean? And you don't care about poor people. You know what I mean? And the statement where the Prime Minister made is just him putting the blame on the poor people who him call squatters. It's not, all right, let me investigate this to see if somebody, you know what I mean, can be legally held accountable for demolishing, you know what I mean, citizens of Jamaica, you know what I mean, homes and making children homeless. No, it's more like, let we deal with the squatter situation so this not happen again. Let we deal with the poor people, the problem, you know what I mean, that the poor people cause, so that this not happen again. So poor people, if you don't want this happen again, don't squat. Basically, that's the way I say. You understand? And this goes to show you that, you know what I mean, you are not no citizens of Jamaica. Stop telling yourself that lie. Black people was brought over here in chains. You are just that. Captives. You understand? You were brought over here as captives, and you will remain captives. You understand? You are not considered Jamaicans. See them like our brothers and sisters in America. They are not really Americans. Who's Americans? Americans is the oppressor. That's why police can just unalive black people in the streets of America. You know what I mean? Enough of the time, no come out time.
For me.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So like you, sir, I've got a precept for you if you want me to read it.
Yeah, man, read. Go ahead.
God on cancer. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 21. For the hurt for the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black. Astonishment hath taken hold on me. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered?
Right. You know what I mean? That's every scripture. You know what I mean? This basically, I said, the Most High is, you know what I mean, is upset for the earth and people. Is there nothing that can cure this problem or alleviate this issue? Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician, somebody that can, you know what I mean, heal the ailment of God's people? You know what I mean? But clearly we need help as a people. We are being oppressed. But why is there no balm in Gilead? There is no balm in Gilead because nobody cares about God's people.
Right.
There's no physician because they don't care about our plight. That's why Andrew Holness, you know what I mean, he's not looking at the demolition crew or the hotel chain that, you know what I mean, that caused this as the problem. He's looking at the poor people as the problem because there's no balm in Gilead. There's no physician. Nobody care about you. It can happen to, and you have people who jump up in the chat more while and they must say the people them should go upon squatter land. You know what I mean? When, you know what I mean, enough of them upon squatter land too. Let me tell you something. Between 500,000 and 700,000 Jamaicans live upon squatter land. How much percent Jamaica that? That is how much percent? 700,000 people are how much percent of Jamaica? That are roughly 25%. Thereabout.
That's right.
And guess who them people are? Poor black people, descendants of slavery, the children of Israel. You understand? These are the people who, so what you going to do? You going to bulldoze off 700,000 people? Is that what you do? Or you do this to intimidate people for come off us? So where 700,000 people are going to live? Like, what is the solution? Zane, what is the solution? Get 700,000 people for stop squat? As you call it, that is not possible. And the reason why 700,000 people are still squatters is because, as I said, there is lack of, you know what I mean, opportunity, you know what I mean, to actually own homes here in Jamaica. It's not practical. And you might find out say more than 700,000 because if them put out them large figure there, it's probably more.
Right.
You understand? So even the people them who is the die-hearted Labour Right and PMP, we're gonna say them nothing squat. No for no squatters. Yet when we was so-called freed from slavery, we was automatically squatters because we never given no land. Where you think a bush we chop out? Who you think? You know what I mean? Excavate them land here where we now look upon today. Who you think make them land here? Jamaica bush, you know. I wonder if you know say Jamaica bush. Jamaica the jungle like the Amazon, you know.
Right.
Like the Amazon, these are the Americas, you know. Who you think free up them land here? Where them know I say, no, you can't live pan. Are the poor slave them chop out road and make pathway and all them thing there. Them road there with asphalt and thing now, today, a road where the slave them, the free slave them chop out and make a path. So now you go come tell the people them say them are squatters. When Jamaica have always been oppressive to God's people and keep us in a poverty. So what we do? Go under the ground? What we do? Dig a hole and go under the ground or chop out piece of land and live upon it. Build a boat structure till you can build something. You know what I mean? Concrete. What we do? What you expect the poor man to do? But yesterday they treat with the same way like how the oppressor treat with. So we get to understand and know, say, yo, that is where you stand. You know what I mean? You really represent the white man here in Jamaica. We're going to play some more tape and then we're going to jump to some scriptures. See? So I'm going to show you the pattern, you know what I mean, where this prime minister use, right? Because this is not the first demolition, you know what I mean? And this is not the first time our people have this problem. You know what I mean? I don't know if Officer Araya Allah, we ever do a demolition class before? Like something like this? Where you was present? Because this particular story we're going to pull up right now, Zane, remember cover this. You know what I mean? We covered this story before. You understand? So watch this. Wanna watch this.
Up first this evening, there was high drama in a section of Bernard Lodge and Catherine today as demolition crews began the removal of illegal structures in the area.
Under the watchful eyes of the police and military, persons to whom the houses belonged stood helpless. Their reactions in just a moment, but first, Jamila Maitland reports on how the demolition exercise unfolded.
It was the whirring sound of a helicopter hovering over the Clifton community, a section of Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine, that awoke many residents early Thursday morning. Outside, an armored tanker, soldiers, a SWAT vehicle, police with high-powered weapons, and not too far behind them, excavators and men carrying sledgehammers charging towards them to demolish homes.
Police and soldiers, we pick them to school, them lock down the community.
The lands are owned by the Sugar Company Holdings of Jamaica, SCJ. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that criminals have been selling different plots to citizens.
Tomorrow, the government will act to demolish those structures.
So what this was in 2022, you know what I mean? This was in 2022 when them basically made the claim that in order for them going to demolish them also, they made the claim that criminals were building on these lands. You understand? That was the excuse of them using, and them send the police, the soldiers, and all of them things. You understand? To carry out the demolition. But them was aware of this one. But somehow the police came with there in Cooper's Pen, you know what I mean, to secure the demolition, but them don't know about that. And the police arrested brothers without telling them why them get arrested. You understand? But yet still, the government never involved. But the government did involve in that one. That one year, when the police did use, the government knew about this. But that one year where the police was used, the government don't know about that one. You know why I don't know about the most recent one? Because of the backlash when him get about this previous one. You understand? This one bring a lot of backlash. So here when this is alleged, you know what I mean? I must say this. This is my opinion. You understand? And I'm entitled to my opinion. See? The reason why him claim say him don't know about this latest one is because he want to try avoid the backlash. But you know what I mean? It's a pattern with you. We see the pattern. You understand? It's not the first where I see demolition take place with the police force and the government was a part of it. Why are you not a part of it now? Or you expect we to believe, say, you wasn't a part of it when you was a part of it the last time? You just take poor people for fool. And these are the same, you know what I mean? These are the same reoccurrence, you know what I mean? For over 60 years now in Jamaica. Where the government just pull wool over the people in the eye. And you still go back go vote. He might go sing you this sweet song, say him don't know nothing about it in our country. This big them is a hotel chain, you know what I mean? Him say get the court order, you know. So how some big entity like that carry out a demolition using your police and you don't know about it? You only can tell a die-hearted voter that. You only can tell somebody who, you know what I mean, vote for you because them granny was a Labour writer, or them granny was a PMP. You can't tell common sense thinking people that. You understand? People with sense know say, this couldn't go through without the government approval. Or that would have been a crime. It would have been a crime. Same like how if the people build upon squatter land without, you know what I mean, government approval is a crime. You demolishing people's house, you know what I mean, without government approval has to be a crime. So is the hotel chain being investigated? Are they being investigated so that somebody can pay for all of the damages where the people, you know what I mean, face? Is somebody gonna pay for the damages that the people face? Because people lose fridge, people lose money, people lose bed, people lose furniture, people lose all of them documentation, them belongings. Who is gonna pay for that? You know what I mean? And it get worse, you know. Don't think say it's a situation where it's just, all right, poor people go squat on land, so, you know what I mean, them demolish them house and it is that. It's not that simple. Because come to find out who obtained the land, obtained it unjustly and unlawfully. So there was no lawful, you know what I mean, way for carry out this demolition. The demolition itself was unlawful. Because you got kick people off our land where you steal.
That's right.
Where you obtain unlawfully. You understand? So all of the die-hearted people them will love JLP and love PMP. We're not going to find out, say, look here, man. Not everything is black and white. The land did not belong to the government. The government obtained it unlawfully. I will play some tape for sure on that. You understand? I'm finished playing this though.
That have been illegally erected.
About 30 houses have been tagged for demolition. Member of Parliament Fitz Jackson was among the crowd.
That kind of activity is not anything that I would condone. Persons who approach me and say that they have bought lands, and one and two persons, I ask them from whom, they can't tell me or afraid to tell me who they paid money to.
The structures in question have been built on lands earmarked for agriculture as part of the Bernard Lodge Master Development Plan. But houses with roofs on it cannot be destroyed.
All right, so that person who spoke a while ago was Fitzroy Johnson, right? Or Fitzroy Jackson. He was a PMP, you know. So at this, me I try to and say, yo, you see this? Take politics out of this. See? So the JLP carry out the demolition with the support of the PMP. Is that what you tell me? So both party complicit. And them are complicit when it comes to making money. You see when a money involved, rest assured, man. No, listen. Rest assured. The same thing where one party would do, the next party would do. Once it involves some foreign entity or some big corporation, you know what I mean, and money being exchanged, the PMP would do the same thing where the JLP would do. That's why you have Fitzroy Jackson support the demolition. You understand? So anyway, we're going to play a tape. You know what I mean? We're going to play a tape showing you that, you know what I mean, this land is up for question.
2012 HCV
Want to listen to this. If you can't hear it, let me know. If you can't hear it, just, you know what I mean? Let me know.
Dimitri and Max Jobson, the Administrator General and New Falmouth Resorts. And the official Supreme Court description says that the claim sought relief concerning alleged negligence in the administration of deceased estate. So the pity them bring a lawsuit against the Falmouth Resorts
Hey,
and
SHALAM,
the Administrator General, and said that negligence on the side of the Administrator General of the deceased, because of the 21 pity them was supposed to get it, and somehow the government decided to go give it to New Falmouth Resorts. It addressed the issues of breach of trust. Jamaica.
You hear that? So a man who owned the land, he had children. You understand where the land should have gone to, right? But his children was underage, right? So the government took custody of the land. You understand? But the government breached the children's right of ownership of the land by selling it to New Falmouth Resort. Now, afterwards, the children them come in dispute, bringing the government to court over them land where them supposed to own. During this time, people is building on the land. The children never have no problem with the people building on the land. The children have problem with the government selling the land to New Falmouth Resort. You understand? So the government sell the land, which if the government sell the land, all the government wouldn't know that some demolition that take place on the land that them sell. Anyway, see, them sell the land unlawfully, the land that belong to, you know what I mean, the descendant of the brother who owned the land. And then you are going to tell that, and this is maybe why them say them don't know nothing about it, you know. Because them know say the land belong to the children of that man. So that is maybe one of the reasons why him say him don't know nothing about it. Because now you are demolish people off our land that don't belong to you, and you never get permission from the real owners that them want the people off of the land. The real owners never say them want nobody get demolished off of the land. But because you want to give the land to some big hotel chain so you can make money and make yourself rich, these hotel industries that does nothing for Jamaica people but enslave us. You understand? Modern day slavery. You understand? I'm making uno rich. Zin, uno demolish the people them house to give them the land instead of trying to sell the land to the people them who already depend it. Uno are some monsters and oppressors over God people. Some of uno are Israelites, but some of uno have the spirit of the oppressor. You understand? We're going to finish playing this and then we're going to jump to some scriptures. You know what I mean?
Trustee duties, Jamaica, and what legal cause of action could properly be pursued. Jamaica, let me read it slowly, Funo. Let me read it slowly. The man's children were simply saying, me want me daddy land back. They were litigating questions about how their father's estates had been administered. Remember, they were minors. You remember the story when he died, they were all minors, 21 picnic. They were minors and couldn't administer nothing. The administration went in at the government and the government 24 years later turn it over to Falmouth. So the picnic, when them turn big, them go after the government and them go after Falmouth Resorts and say, this no right, is our land, is our daddy land, and Uno not supposed to have it. Nothing like this, no God, they had no possession. Remember, they had no title. Falmouth claimed they had possession. Isn't it the same thing that the The people capture land. Jamaica will capture the land. And this
So the real people them will capture the land is not the people them will build upon it. Or the government really capture the land. The government capture the land and give it over to New Falmouth Resorts. Them are the real thief. Them are the real capture land. You understand? Because the children of the man who own that land never have a problem with the people them who build upon the land. But the government took it and gave it over to some tourist resort. You know what I mean? And look what them do to it. Them demolish the people them off of the land. That is unjust. That is unlawful, and somebody need to go to jail because of that. And the people them must get compensated in full and more, because them lose not only them goods, but them get, you know what I mean, embarrassed. You understand? Them get dragged through the media. Them get painted as squatters. You understand? They must get double the compensation from where them lose, you know what I mean, during that demolition. Because this land was sold unlawfully. Somebody need to go to jail for this. But we know how the government operate already. You know what I mean? When it comes to poor people and God's chosen people here in Jamaica getting justice, them never get no justice yet. You understand? We're going to finish the tape here. Then we are going to read some scriptures. You know what I mean? We'll continue to go through this tape because this sister, you know what I mean, she named Fifth Element. Big up to she for doing the research, because guess what? The government now going to investigate themselves, you know. You understand? And that is why brotherhood and sisterhood is so important. And the people them will come on the media and talk about the people them deserve it and rare. Who is no good people, who own people. You understand? Sisters like these and brothers were going to it and investigate, trying to have compassion for the poor. You understand? They are very important. And lo and behold, the woman find out some details where everybody who has said them not fi squat on the land overlook. Because you think the people them dunce fi squat on the land, when it's really you dunce because you don't know the detail of how the land go. You are say the people them this and them that and them now no land, them now no order. You understand? Making it seems like you have some kind of, you know what I mean, intelligence where poor people don't have. When in fact is you uninformed and don't know how corrupt the government really is. So we have to big up this sister for the work what she put in and digging up this information. So now, what we not going to say now? See, now that this sister bring out this information, what we not going to say? Oh, the people them should squat on the land. You need to get to the facts straight, not only when it comes to the government, but when it comes to poor people. You understand? I'm going to play this tape. I'm going to continue playing this.
They have possession for over 30 years. So if Falmouth Resource about they had possession, me I telling how it going on. So me I try to figure out how them can go demolish people's house when them, the way them get the title. Me I tell you how them get it. Then and I get them get it to see what I go on Jamaica. When I see the story yet. Okay. I do not see the story. No, them say it's my daddy land. They were litigating questions about how their father's estate had been administered. Now once again, the court found the administrator did not mean the court did not find the Administrator General negligent because in 2016 the Administrator General successively obtained an order striking the relevant claim against his office. On the things that the government did not accept so them did not do wrongdoing. No, in 2016, just the other day, Jamaica, the Administrator General, and 2016. I wonder who did in a power. Who did not power in 2016 Jamaica? I want to know who did not power in 2016. Come, who was the government at that time? Come, somebody put it in the comments. Who was in power in 2016? Come on, help me out.
Which means, you know what I mean, so the same government did in power, you know what I mean, in 2016, which means that, you know what I mean, them probably have some stake in this, in all of this. And we know them corrupt. We know them finger fearing. We know them thief. You know what I mean? That's synonymous with JLP and PMP, the government of Jamaica. Corruption is synonymous with them. See? So we know so them probably have some stake into this when it comes to selling the land. Because you obtain the land unjustly, basically steal the land from the rightful owner, you give it over to some hotel chain, more likely you will get some money out of it. You understand? More likely you will get some money out of it. So we understand why them go on like them not know. When in the beginning are really them behind it.
Right.
It's behind it. You understand? We'll play some more of this and then we'll see we have a lot of scriptures to read, isn't it?
Well, Jamaica, when you catch it down yet, after 1967, we started here so far, we start. And in 2016, on 1 p.m., they found nothing. They said that the Administrator General didn't do anything right and they struck everything. Them poor little pitney them. Poor little pitney them. The beneficiaries disputed what had happened to their father's estate. Okay?
All right, somebody in the chat said, bro, look something good to talk about, bro. It's over. You know what I mean? And this is how selfish our people can be. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something. You see, when you're politically affiliated, you tend to lose compassion for your own people. You know what I mean? Being politically affiliated, it take away your soul. Just like the Christian church, it take away your compassion for your own people. You understand? But we in the I.S.U.P.K. and the commanding general, YAHANNA, we care about the poor. Christ care about the poor. Christ said, blessed are the poor, because, you know what I mean, theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You understand? This is not the kingdom of heaven where we're doing right now, you know. See? So I understand why nobody cares about the poor. You understand? Not even the poor. See? But you telling me that me must talk about something else is you showing me how, you know what I mean, heartless you is. You understand? You're heartless. You understand? You're just like the same corrupt system that oppress God's chosen people. You don't have no compassion. You understand? Somebody said, Damian Rose said, that person now gonna know how it feel until them in the situation. And it's unfortunate. You understand? The same person say every day someone. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So the person basically acknowledge. When I say him heartless, he must say every day. So he basically tell us him heartless. This is how politics do to you, know. We don't understand, you know. Now remember, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, you know, the same politician them put guns in our hand to kill off on one another, you know. I saw crime come, not never name crime in Jamaica, you know. Crime never exists, you know. The politician them put gun in our hand to analyze each other. So it only makes sense that when you align yourself with a certain political party, you're gonna have the same spirit. Because if you didn't have the spirit to go around and shoot your brother because him aligned to a particular party, it means you lose all compassion. Somebody say it over, and that he might tell himself, but no, it not done yet. It not done. Because them people are not get justice yet. It can't over if the people them not get justice. Them need justice. You understand? If them don't get justice in this kingdom, rest assured that Christ are going to give them justice. You understand? This no over yet. And don't think that Jamaica is, you know what I mean, this forever utopia where them a plan it out to be. Where them think that Jamaica go just be this, you know what I mean, this utopia like what? Singapore, them a try make it out for be. Them a try follow Singapore, them now reach there so. It now go there so. It now go reach there so. Take on the mind off of that. Things and times change, and right now we in the third world war, and it now reach there so. All of the, what you call it now, the economic building of the economy and making Jamaica a first world country. You know what I mean? We will not try that now. You understand? We take that out of our mind. We prepare for your time where the world is at war. You understand? Prepare for your time where the economy is in shambles. You know what I mean? Famine, drought, earthquake. You see the earthquake them already. And war and rumors of war. That you have to prepare for. Don't think about Jamaica being like Dubai. And you see what go on in a Qatar and Dubai and the Middle East country there, where our people, you know what I mean, think of heaven. Bombs are dropped, drones are leaked. So there's no utopia upon earth. It done, that done. The kingdom here come to an end. So if our corrupt politician thinks like, you know what I mean, some slice of the pie that they are wait upon them. Not that they are wait upon you. Just turmoil, you know what I mean, poverty, destruction, not just for the poor, but for everybody. You understand? That is what's coming. But guess what come for the poor? Something good will come for the poor because Christ have a forward back. And when Christ come, the poor people, the scripture says, those who are last shall be first, and those who are first shall be last. You understand? The kingdom here come to an end. So all of the oppression we want to oppress God's people, that will come to an end. So if the brothers them in Cooper's Pen don't get justice in this world, they're going to get it in the next world. All right, here I'm going to do. For time's sake, I'm going to jump to some scriptures. See? For time's sake, I'm going to jump to some scriptures. I'm going to jump to the book of Malachi. You know what I mean? Malachi 2 and 1. I look like Officer Arya Ala drop out. See? Me not see him, you know. All right, sing forward back here. All right, slacky about that. I never see you drop out. All right, we there the book of Micah, slacky, not Malachi. Micah 2 and 1. Baba Kosha. We're going to read verse 2, and we're going to read verse 1 and 2. You know what I mean? So, they have become accustomed to oppressing God's people, you know. See? But when them have to understand it now the last favor. And that for them heaven I come to an end. You understand? So anything where them a plan, them a try scrape, them a take land, them a, you know what I mean, them a deprive the poor to make themselves rich, them riches now the last. You know
right.
You understand? Read it when you have it there, brother.
God don't answer. The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Right. So this I say, woe to them that devise iniquity and devise evil upon their bed. You know what I mean? This was an evil device that them carry out against the people of, you know what I mean, Cooper's Pen. You understand? The Bible has said, woe means destruction. So destruction will come to everybody who involved. And this scripture specifically go to, you know what I mean, the oppressor, which we know the white man is behind all of this. You understand? The white man is the one, the orchestrator, the puppet master behind the whole of this. He's who our leaders them answer to. Britain and America. You understand? So this say, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. Woe meaning destruction. Continue reading.
God. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Right. So when the morning light, so them devise them plan, you know what I mean, upon them bed, meaning night. And when the morning come, them practice, you know what I mean, this evil thing with them plan. You understand why? Because them have the power to do so. Them have the power, you know what I mean, for trample upon the poor, for oppress the poor. You understand? You know who don't have the power to do anything? Black people. You know what I mean? The poor children of Israel here in Jamaica. We don't have no power. But you know who have the power? The oppressor and in puppets who him put over we. For your oppress we. You understand? Them have the power. The power is in them and for the good or the evil. But them devise evil. You understand? So Andrew Holness talking about him don't know nothing about this is a lie. And the fact that them allow it to be done shows that him don't care about the poor, because the power was in him and to stop it from happening. Him could have stopped this from happening. Him have the power. You know what I mean? Him say a thing, you know. Him says he's not a revolutionary. See? Which, when you look upon that statement, there's a serious statement that he's making up. He's not a revolutionary, means say him not have no fight in him. Meaning he will not fight for the poor. So anything our slave master say him for do, him a go do it. Basically, that me get from him statement.
Right.
Even though him have the power to resist and stand for the poor. Because you're already in a position, even if the position, you know what I mean, is only like a prop. Well, you are our prop. You are our prop. So you can stop them from doing it. You can come up against the oppressor and tell them, say, no, we can't do that too. You know what I mean? God's chosen people. You just choose not to. You choose to continue with the status quo. You understand? You choose to fall in line at the expense of your own people. You understand? Jump to verse 2, Baba Koshar.
And they covered fields and take them by violence.
Right. They covered fields, land, see? And take them by violence. These brothers' houses and these sisters' houses was taken by violence. Because, you know what I mean, some oppressor wanted that land to build him in hotel chain. See? And our government steal it. You know what I mean? They coveted that land and our government stole it and gave it to them. And they took it by violence. Continue reading.
And houses and take them away.
And
so they oppress some.
And houses, they take them away, took away the people them house. You know what I mean? Continue reading.
So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right, they oppress a man and his house. You know what I mean? Those brothers was taken away in the morning, early morning before the sunrise. You know what I mean? Oppressing those brothers. You understand? And then they went back and oppressed those brothers' houses, destroy their houses. You understand? Destroy, took baby off of the bed, put them in a bad pan, shoot them out of the house. You know what I mean? And then demolish the house with the goods them in the house.
Right.
Oppress a man and his houses. You understand? And even a man and his heritage. Because guess what? This land don't belong to the government, nor, you know what I mean, New Falmouth Resort. This belong to a man's children who died in 1980. This land should have been given to the man's children. But they stole somebody's heritage. You understand? And on a broader scale, that is what happened to us as the children of Israel. And it keep happening to us everywhere we go. You understand? Because of these curses, because of us turning from our God. See? It keep happening. They took our land in the Middle East right now. That land is ours. You understand? But they took our heritage. Now we in a Jamaica, a suffer and a battle for a place to live. You understand? Them a demolish our house in a Jamaica when the main house is our house. The promised land over there in the Middle East was given to us by the Most High. Now we in captivity in Jamaica, watching our homes get demolished. You know what I mean? That is how them deprive we of our heritage. You understand? We're gonna jump to all right, I'll hold that one for later. See? Right. Shout out to Captain Nayatak. I mean, for them scripture we bring out last night on the Breakdown podcast. We're going to jump to Ecclesiasticus 24 and 20. Baba Kosha. Let me see how far we're going to read though.
Ecclesiasticus on what, sir?
Hold on. Slakia, Ecclesiasticus 34 and 20. Baba Kosha.
Can't.
In the meanwhile, anybody, if you don't have questions, you know, just throw it in the chat. You understand? If you don't have questions about scriptures or question, you know what I mean, about even the school, we are the I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica, under command in General YAHANNA. You can just throw that in the chat. You understand? Ronaldo, 1505, you're right. You know what I mean? You're right. Let me know when you have the scripture here.
Yeah, I'm ready, sir.
Go ahead.
God won't can. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, verse 20. Whoso bringeth an offering of the goods of the poor doeth as one that killeth the son before his father's eyes.
Damn, yo, that scripture is so heavy. Whoso bringeth an offering of the goods of the poor. So you are bringing this offering that belong to the poor. See?
Right.
You stole it from the poor, but you want to bring it as an offering. See? It's the same thing with this land. It belongs to the poor. See? It says, do it as one that killeth the son before his father's eye. So this thing that they did in Cooper's pen is as if you unalive a man's son in front of him. You understand? When you steal from the poor and you give it away as an offering, it's almost as if you kill a man in front of him or kill a man's son in front of him. So what reaction you expect? You expect the people them to love you after that? When you steal from the poor and give to the rich, you expect the poor to love you after that? But except in Jamaica, except among where the children of Israel are, we are the only people that you can steal from us and give to the rich, and we still come back and vote.
Right.
You understand? This only happens amongst us. Why? Because of Stockholm syndrome. We have a thing called Stockholm syndrome where we start identify with the abuser, even though he's abusing us. You understand? So now we say, Andrew Holness, him did don't tell them, say, him no want a squatter. So one to the people them who been a squat before him coming to power. Them for just get up and move. Them can't sell them house because you consider it squatter land. The house now no value. What them for do? Left the house there where them build already. Go build somewhere else. Go buy a land. Forget about that. A squatter. All right. That millions of dollar house there where me work so hard over the years to build. See? All right. Me go stop squat. Me go build a next one over there. So that make no sense. You can't tell people to stop being squatters and you not provide nothing for them. The only solution to this is to say, all right, we don't depend on squatter land. We build up how much 1,000 house over there, so which him always a brag, say him have build up, him a develop houses and him a show house. You understand? Give them the house there, then if you want them come off of the land there. But because we know, say, this is not because you care about the poor. All of them new house that we build are for your pocket, for make you rich. So you can't just give it to the poor because to you, that is, you know what I mean? That go against your bottom line. But oh, you expect a person who poor and live on squat, you expect, all right, so you expect me to just come out of my house, leave it alone, leave it abandoned, and go build somewhere else. You're mad, man. You don't have no sense. You're sick in your head. And you don't have no compassion for understand that. It takes compassion for understand people plight. If you don't have compassion, you can't understand people plight, you know. You have to look at it as A or B. But compassion is going to make you know, say, hold on, you have to see this way going on in the immigrant writer, so you know. Because if the people them would have an option, them would do this. So what are the option? Give them an option, but you don't care. You don't care if you give the people them an option. So you stand behind the veil and watch them house get demolished and then talk about you don't know about it. You understand? Read it again for me, there, brother. Because
God, oh God.
Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, verse 20.
Read.
Whoso bringeth an offering of the goods of the poor doeth as one that killeth the son of his father's
right
before his father's eyes.
Right. So these governments, not just the JLP but the PMP, have been killing sons right in front of them father here in Jamaica. You understand? Right. They have been oppressing the poor and they have been taking from the poor and giving it as an offering to the rich. You understand? That is what we have been facing. So if you don't understand that, if you don't have the compassion to understand, hopefully you can understand when the Bible break it down. You understand? All right. Somebody named Mar said, them are squatters, but they want their camping. But they went there camping and never tell the people come for the land. I don't understand. What your point? Mash. I don't understand. Read verse 21, Baba Kosha.
God. The bread of the needy is their life.
Mm-hmm.
He that defraudeth him, therefore, is a man of blood.
Right. The bread of the needy is their life. What is the bread of the needy? The bread is your bread is what you eat, and bread is also where you have your money. This is a black people book. So bread represent what? Your food, your money. You understand? Your hard-working money. You go work for your money, for your bread. You understand? This is your life. Because you work, you lie, you work your ass off for this money. For bill what you bill, you understand? For buy your furniture, for take care of your youth, them, all of that. See? That is your bread. The bread of the needy or the poor. That is their life. See? So he that defraud him thereof is a man of blood. What that mean? So if you steal or you rob the poor of him bread, like how them rob the poor people pan Coopers, you know what I mean, pen, of them money, where them invest in them house there and them goods. You're a man of blood. It's as if you analyze them. You're a murderer, what the Bible is telling you. You understand? A man of blood is a murderer. That is what you are. And this oppressive system have been killing us. You understand? I've been analyzing black people here in Jamaica, the children of Israel from the tribe of Benjamin. We have been murdered by this system for decades. You understand? Read it again, Baba Koshar.
God. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him, therefore, is a man of blood.
Right. The bread of the needy is them life. This is them lifespan. This is what them rely upon. It's not like the rich where, you know what I mean, have resource in abundance. Everything you see the poor have is all him have. Is all him have. Zane, where you see that house where them demolished was all those people had. You understand? That was them life. But you take it from them. He's a man of blood. Jump to the next verse, Baba Kashar.
God. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him.
Mm-hmm. Right. That was the people them living, meaning them work for that. You can imagine how much years it took, you know what I mean, those brothers and sisters, for, you know what I mean, to build those houses, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, so that them family can comfortable, them children can comfortable, you know what I mean? You say something?
La, sir.
Okay. So that them children can comfortable, you know what I mean, have a place to rest them head, wake up and go to school and learn, you know what I mean, and come back home, you know what I mean, having a home. You understand? It's a he that take it away his neighbor's living, Slay him. That is what you did to those people. You unalive them. You kill them. Or you expect them to trust in your system now. Eh? Or you expect them to trust in whatever you have to say now. Them can't trust in what you have to say now because clearly them say your system don't work. And that is why we have to tell our people, now is the time for you to, you know what I mean, turn back to our God. You know what I mean? Turn back to our power. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of our forefathers. You know what I mean? Start keeping his laws again. You understand? Get inside the school, come learn. You understand? Come learn your history. Separate from this kingdom. If you never see a reason for now separate from Jamaica, no, this would be, and you see time and time again with other things that the government or whichever party have done. Separate from Jamaica. You know what I mean? Jamaica is not your rest. You're not a Jamaican, you're not a Trinidadian, you're not a Guyanese, you're not a Belizean. You understand? You're the children of Israel. You're God's chosen people.
That's right.
This is just the land of your captivity. This is where you serve slavery. Don't get comfortable over here. And the most time I ensure that you don't get comfortable when you allow things like this to happen. Because otherwise, you would not even think about, you know what I mean, your history and who you really are. Now, things like this will, you know what I mean, force you to now find a different path. And that different path is what we are presenting to you today. You understand? Who you really are as God's chosen people. The scripture says, seek ye the old path, and of the old ways, inquire, I'm paraphrasing. Ask about the old path. Go back in our history, ask. You want to find the answer to your problem? Find out where you come from. You understand? Who are your people? This is the only way you're going to know what to do, you know. Or you just going to left in this, you know what I mean, this state of confusion where you are being oppressed and you don't know where the oppression come from. Ask, inquire, how did we come to Jamaica? Who were we? Why were we enslaved? If you don't ask them questions, you really are head down a path to nowhere. You have to know where the race start, to know where it will end, brother. If you are in a 400 meter, you know what I mean, race, you have to know the starting line because the starting line is the finish line. Basically. You understand? So guess what you have to do now? You have to go find out where your people come from. Is it a normal thing that your people was enslaved over here by the tunes of hundreds of thousands, no, millions? That you don't come from here, so? But you're just comfortable here, so you don't come from here, so you know the history say your people was brought over here upon slave ships and enslaved and brutalized to work the land. Are you still being brutalized? So you know, go back and think now and say, but who were we? You have to ask a question there. Because if you don't care about that, guess what? It's almost as if you don't care what happened to you. You understand? If you don't care about who you were back then, it's hard for you to care about what happened to you. Or what happened to your brothers and your sisters. You're not going to see no value in yourself. And being a Jamaican is not sufficient value. You understand? Because we take value in the fact that we have athletes or we create reggae music or with this or with that. That is where our pride comes from, you know. That is not sufficient. That is not sufficient pride for, you know what I mean, to stand up against oppression. As a matter of fact, that will put you to sleep. That will make you fall in line with the system where oppress you. Because of sports, because of music, and that you sell out your people to, and politics. When you think more greater than that, you think way more greater than that, you are God's chosen people. You are the people who God chose out of all the nations on the face of the earth. That should hold more weight to you than reggae music and Usain Bolt. You understand? That should hold more weight. So what is greater than that? Eh? If you accept, say you're God's chosen people, you're not gonna accept oppression. And guess what? You're not gonna accept it when your brother get it, when your brother get oppressed. But if you consider yourself a Jamaican, being a Jamaican means that slavery was right. I want to look on that, you know. If you are a Jamaican, it means slavery was right. And the white man was right for what him do. If you're a Trinidadian, if you're a Guyanese, if you're a Brazilian, if you're a Cuban, you are saying slavery needed to happen. That is what you are saying. If you consider yourself that and not God's chosen people. Being God's chosen people means that slavery was an injustice and you're still being oppressed today.
That's right.
That is the win. That is the win where you need, you know what I mean, behind your seals now for fight against oppression. That is what you need. This is the only thing where I go, you know what I mean, I go free your mind from the shackles. Christ himself said, our King Yahawashi, you know what I mean? Him said, ye shall learn the truth and the truth shall make you free. Is the truth I go make you free? And the truth is you're not Jamaican, you're not Trinidadian, you're not Guyanese, you're not Cuban, you're not Belizean, you're not Bajans, you're not Bahamian, you're God's chosen people.
Right.
That truth will not make you tolerate oppression and some, you know what I mean, some puppet government that, you know what I mean, claim that them don't know about your pain and they were not aware. Knowing that truth means that you will not tolerate mediocre leadership. But being a Jamaican will, because the foundation of Jamaica is what? Your people being oppressed. So if this is the outcome and this is the accomplishment of, you know what I mean, of being Jamaican, then, you know what I mean, life mean nothing then because it was made off of slavery. And if this is the reward, then slavery was good. You know what I mean? And that is unacceptable. But no believes that slavery was good. So since slavery is not good, stop calling yourself a Jamaican. Separate from Jamaica and Jamaica ways. You understand? Jamaica ways teach you that it is okay to sleep with another man, woman. True grind. You understand? Jamaica ways teach you that, you know what I mean, Andrew Holness or Mark Golding, you know what I mean, have your best interest at heart. That is Jamaica way. You understand? Jamaica way tell you that the tourist industry, you know what I mean, is good for the Jamaican people, even though the tourist industry never fall back into the pocket of poor people. You understand? Jamaica way tell you that you can be Rasta, Christian, all these other religions that is a serving of another God opposed to the God that you were meant to serve, which is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Everything about Jamaica is against God. You understand? Jamaica tell you, say, yo, you are celebrating 64 years of independence, just August 6th, God. But you're not independent. Britain's still in control. The Governor General is still the head of state. You know what I mean? America now, what them do now, them exercise the Monroe Doctrine, which means that them don't want nobody in them backyard. Means that every land mass in them backyard belong to them. Basically. You're under the Monroe Doctrine and the British Empire. Same way, you're not independent, but Jamaica will tell you that. Jamaica is a lie, is an illusion. And you have to understand this. Jamaica is not a part to God. Jamaica is a part to you serving the oppressor forever. You understand? But if you come back to the Most High, guess what happened? You're going to be free. The freedom we are ball for, we are seek. You seek for freedom through the Christian church. You seek for freedom through the Rastafari community. You seek for freedom through, you know what I mean, Jamaica becoming a republic. You know what I mean? When none of that now going to give you freedom. Freedom is when you come back to who you are. Because if you come back to the God, who you're the all-powerful God, who's the God of your foreparents, how can the oppressor rule over you? How can Britain rule over you if you are God's chosen people again? Is one or the other, you know, the scripture said, you can't serve two masters. Is either you will love the one or hate the one and hold to the other. So you can't love God and serve Jamaica. You can't love God and serve Britain. You have to pick one, but guess what? If you serve God, Britain can't rule over you.
That's right.
If you serve God, America, Monroe Doctrine can't work.
Right.
You understand? So you have to, if you want freedom, you have to come back to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of your forefathers. If not, then this will continue, and there's nothing you can do about it. You understand? Jump to the next scripture, the next verse, Baba Kosha.
God, oh God. Verse 23. When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor?
Right. And this scripture, you know what I mean, it goes more so to the police who are our people. They are Israelites too. The brothers in the orange vest who was looting and demolishing, you know what I mean, the people in home. And the excavator operator. See? What profit, it say when one build it and another pull it down. Meaning a man build him house and you come lick down the man's house. What profit have they but labor? What profit is there? What you gain from you licking down a next man's house? The man not gain nothing, him lose everything, and you not gain nothing neither. Because you lick down a structure that could have housed somebody's young 3 weeks old baby.
Right.
And shelter from the rain. You not get no profit but work. Yes, you get what I say? You work for lick down the building. Him work for build it, you work for lick it down. All you get out of it is labor. Just work. No good was done. But pain. Somebody left pain in pain because now them not have nowhere to live. And this is a lack of brotherhood. You're not a brotherhood. Nobody not supposed to can send you on a mission like that. How can somebody send you on a mission for destroy somebody's home? How much money them pay you for do that? And this is something that our people have been, you know what I mean, have been plaguing our people, you know, for years, you know. Uncle Tom Negroes that can be bought from the least of us to the greatest of us. You know what I mean? Uncle Tom's like Andrew Wellness and Uncle Tom's like the people them where went and demolished those homes. People who can be bought for do evil to them own people. Saying, what profit is there? Labor. Just be a labor. You think you push Jamaica forward when you demolish people's house? You not push Jamaica forward. You make somebody grow, or you left somebody now, you know what I mean, frustrated. We can turn to crime because of this. And this proves that your government don't care about crime. Because why you would have put a man in a position where now he have to go contemplate crime? You understand? You destroy him house, what you are telling him to do? What you are telling him to go do? Read it again one more time, Baba Kosha.
God, oh God. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, and verse 23. When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor?
Right. When one buildeth and another man pull it down, all you have is labor. Work to build it up and work to pull it down. Nobody benefit. You understand? Right. Jump to Leviticus 25 and 23. Baba Kosha.
God, oh God.
In the meanwhile, if you don't have questions, you just leave it in the chat. Let me see if no question in the chat.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine.
Right. So the Most High make you know say the land shall not be sold forever. This was when it was in our homeland, right? So the Most High gave us that land, which is his land. You understand? The Most High gave us the best land on the earth. That same land was the Garden of Eden. You understand? We got that land. And the Most High told us we should not sell that land. None at all. Meaning, it don't mean you can't sell it to another Israelite, you know. It not the entire land, but it don't mean that this I talk about the entire land, but it's not telling you that you can't sell a plot of land to another Israelite and exchange land, and you know what I mean? That it a talk about the land itself, the entire land. Or you can't sell a plot of that land neither to a heathen. You can't sell piece of the land where the Most High get to we. See? To the white man, to the Chinese, because that land belongs to your people. You understand? That is God's land, and God don't allow you to hand it over to somebody who's not your people. You understand me?
That's right.
Here we're going with over yes or no. You understand? This different. So the Most High law protect us in our land. It protect us, but there is no protection over here for we. Where is the laws that protect, you know what I mean, the people of Jamaica from somebody wanting to sell their land to some outside entity? There's no protection. When we were in our homeland keeping these laws, like we just read a while ago, see, when we were keeping these laws, there was protection. We know that no hotel chain can come take over no plot of land in a Jerusalem. Why? Because the Most High gave us laws protecting from that. But what is here to protect us from the government selling a piece of land to some outside entity or to some hotel chain? There's nothing. Which means this is not the Most High's land. Because if we were in the Most High's land, this couldn't happen. You understand? Jamaica is not God's land. You understand me? Jamaica is not God's land. You know who God's land is? Over there in the Middle East. And that land was given to us. And we must always think about them things and know, say, we don't belong in Jamaica. We'll never make justice in Jamaica because this is not God's land. This is not our home. So somebody can come steal land from you and your children and give it away. You understand? But in Jerusalem, that could have never can't happen. You understand? You have a scripture where some heathen try to occupy parts of, you know what I mean? I think it was the Assyrians. See? I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you see, they were living in the land and they had to bring in, you know what I mean, people to teach them how to operate in the land because the Most High was cursing them because they don't belong in the land. Hence the reason why you see war going over the Middle East from the inception, it never ends. Because you have Edens in our land. You understand? And the scripture says, until we go back to that land, peace now go upon the land. That is the valley of Jehoshaphat. That is where Armageddon will take place. See, right. Because God's chosen people is not there. The fake Jew over there pretending to be us. Meanwhile, he was the one that paid for our slavery. Meaning, he was the one who was financing the slave trade. You understand? The fake Jew. So war can't stop him there upon our land. You have the Arabs them there upon our land. Then you have all these other nations for our land. Guess what? There shall be no peace. Because the land curse. You understand? But until when Christ come and set we back in that land, there shall be no peace. You understand? But meanwhile, when they are so in Jamaica, we now have no justice because this is not the land that we were given. While we're in Trinidad, no justice we now go get because that is not the land that we were given. In Guyana, in Venezuela, in Colombia, you know what I mean? Those lands are not our lands. I mean, the Tainos and the Amerindians and the Arawak and the Aztecs and so forth, which are of the Northern Kingdom, the other 10 tribes of Israel. Of course, they are the ones that came here first and established these lands. But that is not their real land. Their real land is over there in the Middle East. Hence the reason why the oppressor was able to just come over here and just take it and enslave them upon it. You understand? So we need to take them things into consideration. These things are what I go put, you know what I mean, more honor into our minds to do better as a people and to wanting to, you know what I mean, gain freedom from under the hand of the oppressor. You being a Jamaican, you don't believe no freedom needed. You don't know what's freedom. If you're a Jamaican, you don't understand freedom because Jamaica start with you in slavery. If you're a Jamaican, you have never been freed. But if you're an Israelite, you know freedom. Because you can go back to a time when the Most High literally took us out of Egypt with force, by force, and freed us and unalived our enemies. But if you're Jamaican, you have never seen freedom. Freedom is a figment of your imagination. You understand? So we need to get back to who we are as God's chosen people. All right? All right. We're gonna jump to all right, what time? All right. Jump to Proverbs 22 and 28. Baba Koshar.
Okay. Yeah, it's 11 here, sir.
Say that again.
It's 2300 hours here, sir.
Yeah, that's why I checked the time a while ago, because I know say, yo, you have to do your thing. So we're not going to read all the scriptures them when we have line up. We're going to read this one and one more, and then we're done. All right?
Go on, sir.
Yeah, man.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 28. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set.
Right. These are laws that the Most High gave us. You know what I mean? The Most High said, remove not the ancient landmark that your fathers have set. That's your inheritance. Don't remove it. Don't say that you're going to steal somebody's land, in other words. You understand? Our laws protect from people stealing other people's land. See? That's why these laws are important, you know. That's why the Bible is not a religious book. Yet the Christian church have turned, you know what I mean, have painted the Bible like a fairy tale when you have practical land laws in the Bible, which if Andrew Holness would have used these laws or cared about, if Jamaica really cared about land in Jamaica, see, if the Jamaican government cared about land and ownership of land, they would have used God's laws to settle this dispute, but them don't do that. You understand? Because this law would have made them know, say, they're not supposed to steal the land and sell it to the hotel chain. Remove not the ancient landmark. That is what the government did. They removed that ancient landmark. So now the children who supposed to gain this land didn't receive it. You know what I mean? Jump to Mark chapter 3 and verse 27. And then we're close. Yeah, man.
The book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except.
Go ahead.
Except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
Right. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods. Means steal his goods. Zin, or destroy his goods. Zin, except they first bind that strong man. And that is what the police did 3 o'clock in the morning, came and bind the men, arrest them, put handcuffs on them, bring them to a station, and then them come back, then them send the demolition crew with more police and spoil the brothers' house and their goods. You understand? So what lesson should we learn from this? Black men, Hispanic, Native, and Indian men. You are that strong man. You understand? And without you, children or women and children vulnerable. And this teaches us that the government know, the police know that you are that strong man. That's why they remove the men out of that community before them destroy the house. Because they know that the brothers would stand up against, you know what I mean, the demolition and defend it. See? So they remove the brothers. You understand? So what that teach you now? Together, black men, Hispanic and Native Indian, you are strong. You are that strong man. You don't need to come together and have brotherhood. Come together to defend your women and children. You understand? Because without you, with you out of the way, they are just prey. They are just, you know what I mean, goods for the oppressor spoil. You understand? So guess what? An ex-black man can't be an app. You can't have an app that is a black man. That black man is your brother who will help you defend your wife or your children. Now is the time so we understand so we have a greater enemy than each other. We are not each other enemy. The greater enemy is this oppressive system. You understand? And if we come together as God's chosen people, then now we can become the strong man needed to defend this, you know what I mean, this nation, which is the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian, 12 lost tribes of Israel. You understand? So get inside the school, you know what I mean, come learn the truth, you understand? Stop celebrating them holidays, them Christmas. Come out of the Christian church. Come out of the Rastafari community. You know what I mean? And get inside the school. And with that, you know what I mean? And the class over to priest and officer. What, 50 or 500?
50 or 500.
All right. Priest and officer 50. Officer Araya Allah. Clap it up.
All right, clap it up. These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, a brother or sister if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 to 10, means a tenth in the Hebrew, Ma'aya Shura. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to your treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, the memorial of blowing trumpets. Salakia, so I believe it's the 13th of September.
No, it's September 11.
It's September 11, Salakia. A reminder to the Akyam and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give Officer Kayadwan one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I Mariam. I Mariam Shabbat. I Mariam. Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Salakia, is there any sisters in, sir?
La.
Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed.
All right, to order again, brother. You know what I mean?
To order, sir. Wicked class, sir. To order.
Most High in Christ, sir. Most High in Christ.
Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Ba'ashim Barakatah. You know what I mean? That's Officer Araya Allah out of the UK. You know what I mean? If you're in the UK region, if you're black, you know, because we know a lot of Caribbean people in the UK, reach out to, you know what I mean, I.S.U.P.K, UK. You know what I mean? Get inside those classes. Learn your history, learn your truth. You understand? Yeah, man. So With that, we're going to close out. Somebody asks a question, well, make a statement. You know what I mean? Somebody make a statement saying, so you just get up and think you are Jew and start instigating violence. Who is instigating violence? You see, this is what, you know what I mean, is wrong with our people, you know. At any point you hear we mention nothing about no violence, instigating violence like what? Saying the brothers should protect them family. Is that violence? We're not instigating. We don't support any violence in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? But you know what I mean? If you know what I mean, if you are the man, your job is to protect your children. You understand? So trace it on. You know what I mean? I don't know where you get that. Nobody is instigating any violence. You understand? And we did not just get up and say we are Jews. You know what I mean? Watch your classes and then you will understand why we know say we are the real Jews. See? And get out of that Christian church and that political, you know what I mean, mindset. You know what I mean? And maybe you can be of use to your own people. You know what I mean? And with that, we're going to close out. So shalom to everybody that came through. Next class will be on Wednesday. Wednesday at 7 p.m. See, we'll have the law class. So just tune into that. Subscribe to every I.S.U.P.K pages. Command in General YAHANNA have a page called the Real Command in General YAHANNA, and it keeps a show every Monday. About 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm not quite sure, called the Black Watch. See? So that is where we break down the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You know what I mean? You want to know what's going on with the war in Ukraine, in Iran, how it falls in line with prophecy and the scriptures. You know what I mean? You just tune into that, subscribe. See? Follow every I.S.U.P.K page. Remember to pay your tithes. Go to isupk.com, you know what I mean? And pay your tithes. Support this truth. You know what I mean? We have food drives and clothing drives that we do. You understand? So when you support this school, you know what I mean, then you will help to feed God's people. Right now, you see that our people need it more than ever. See, right now you have people, right now we have to go do a food drive and a clothing drive down there at Cooper's Pen. You know what I mean? Most of you low. Because you have people right now who are homeless. You have people right now who lose them clothes, not have no food and all them things there. How do you go to work when you have, you know what I mean? You don't have your ID, you don't have clothes, you don't have food. How you do that? So right now, our people are in need. And not just in Cooper's Pen, you still have people who suffered from the hurricane, you know what I mean, who still haven't gotten relief. You understand? And you have big dunce bad people in the chat where I talk about violence and all them things there. You never heard that here, man. That is what the government wants to happen. That is what this oppressive system wants to see, so that they can analyze God's people. You understand? But we have a solution. You understand? Come inside the I.S.U.P.K. Make we teach you how to, you know what I mean, not fight with guns, but fight with your mind. Fight the spiritual warfare. Keep God's law separate from Jamaica and its custom. Separate from voting. Come back to the Most High laws. Be righteous people again. That is how you fight, not with guns. You know what I mean? You see them stack up tankers and all them things upon ships, a ship to Jamaica, and buying and militarizing the police. Why you think them do that? Because they want to see when they get up. So them can analyze, you know. That is what they want. You understand? That is what this heartless system wants. See? But them have a war where I come to them that has nothing at all to do with you. You understand? You don't need to stand up and fight them with guns. Because the Russians and the Chinese and the Americans are going to put them, you know what I mean, in a situation where them are going to get where them look for. You understand? You see where them are look for? We don't have nothing at all to do that. But the Russians and the Chinese and the Iranians, them are going to put them to work. So you see all of them militarized police and them soldiers, yeah man, them are going to get some action, but it not going to come from we. See? Yeah man, tell them to prepare for World War III. That them to do. You know what I mean? As for God's people, get inside this school. See? Yeah man, that war now have nothing to do with you. Turn back to the Most High, and with that, shalom.
want you,
man,
boy.
so what's your name?
You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my nigga. Yeah.
Yeah, so Tracy, yeah.
Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look. Hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we U.P.K, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood, I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood